And you did mention that you have been looking at Justin Fields and watching his tape. We're wondering now, is he at least in the process of turning the corner, of learning how to process the defense better, to go through the reads better? What are you seeing right now, Jeff, when you watch Justin Fields?
Yeah, so I'm one of those guys. Like, so when he and Lawrence were coming out, man, I think he was the second best quarterback in that draft. I'm just being real. Like, I loved him. He's from Georgia. Like, I knew his high school coach, so I watched tape on Justin Fields when he was in high school, like way back when I was coaching high school. So I've seen this kid. Then obviously I watched him go to Georgia and then leave there and go to Ohio State, kind of do his thing. I think he's a very good football player. I'll be honest. I see a kid who lost confidence in what he could do well and tried to be everything to everyone instead of just honing it in and going, okay, here's, like I just told you, let me shrink this down and do what I do really well. And the things that I do well, let's magnify them. And one of the things I always have a problem with is when we, in the media, we'll break down 10 plays and it'll be like, well, the quarterback should have done this. We don't really know how that play was installed. We don't know what are his eyes really supposed to do, right? So guys are making comments, and I get everybody's trying to do their best to show what should happen. But so what ends up happening is coaches, if you got players that are wide open, and people are like, well, you got to change your offense to fit the player. Well, if you got a bunch of dudes running open, why would you change that play?
Right.
So the coach wants to call that play, right? But the player doesn't see. So it's really about timing and where do we need to go to get this play executed correctly. So it's kind of a both and I do think he's on the way, man. Look, I don't think Chicago was nearly as good as people. The turn everybody saw from Chicago, I really wasn't on that train quite yet. I still thought they were a little bit away. I thought DJ Moore worked. I think it takes time in the league to learn how to win. And so I thought they would be better than they are right now, but I didn't think this was a team that was going to just push and blow the doors off, right? I thought they were like a year away to keep building, keep letting Justin develop. And that's really where I think. So I'm hoping for him, man. I want that kid to succeed. And for the Bears, man, the league is more fun when you get the Bears are good. Like, let's just be real. There are certain teams in the league you want to be good. The Bears are one of them. And unfortunately, it just hadn't happened here recently.
Jeff, you have played with some great quarterbacks in your time. What is like the characteristic? I know you've got to be good at a lot of stuff, but if you were advising the Bears or you were advising Justin, what is it that makes quarterbacks efficient and successful?
2 words, bro: process and timing.
Okay.
I don't care about all the rest of it. People can call them, they got pea shooters, whatever that nonsense is. They don't got this. I played with one who ain't got the strongest arm in the business. He's still in that HOF thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And because he processed and timing. He knew where his eyes should be. He knew where he was going with the ball, and the timing of when it happened mattered, right? Like the timing of routes mattered, the time of blocks mattered, the time of the execution of his throw mattered. Those 2 things I would drive home to Justin Fields. That's all I care about, bro. In your drop, right? Get to your point. I'm set up. Where are my eyes? Okay, so process is checked off. Now the timing. When does the throw have to happen? Is it in the first window, second window, right? Because some of that can change based on coverage. But man, it's not that difficult. Once you see, hey, is the will linebacker, is he flying out and going to buzz? Okay, so now we're coming inside. Is he staying inside? Okay, we're going to go outside. But once you get that process done first and you're set up, the timing kind of comes secondary. And so I'm just telling you, all the great quarterbacks, I don't care if it's Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Don McNabb, you name it, man. Go all through the league forever. Patrick Mahomes, like process and timing. Now, certain guys can do it better. Like Mahomes has added a whole different dimension, and that's freaking rock star cool. But there are a lot of great quarterbacks who those 2 things took him. And I think with Fields' athleticism, man, if he gets those 2 things down, the things he can do athletically are next level. So let's get those 2 things handled.
All right. Jeff Saturday joining us. It's Waddle and Sylvie on ESPN 1000. So let's advance this. Let's say that Justin Fields continues to progress and continues to look good. He's not a superstar, but continues to get better and better as the year goes on. But let's also say that the Carolina Panthers are the worst team in the NFL. And the Bears, thanks to you again, have the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft. And they have a chance to take either Caleb Williams or your guy at North Carolina, Drake May.
Yeah.
What do they do?
No, toughest decision in football right there. I'm not going to lie to you. It's the bird in the hand kind of thing, right? Like what do we do here, right? I mean, is this and I'll be honest, I would watch Williams and I would watch May, and you would have to figure out, man, are those two guys, because if you feel like those guys, when you scouted Justin Fields when he was originally drafted, I understand it's a different group that did that that's here now, but
right.
if you evaluated him as a rookie and said, okay, he's an 8 and Caleb Williams is a 10, then you would go get Caleb Williams or Drake May as a 10, right? Because you think his upside is significantly higher than Justin Fields. But when I tell you, I think that would be the hardest decision to make for the Bears, is because they have other holes that they could fill and other players they could bring in you could build around Justin Fields, and that's vital to the development for his development. So it's like, man, if you just got to go with it. Like whatever these guys think, if they're still around as well, that would be the hardest decision. And I can't tell you now, we're so early in the season, but I mean, I'm just telling you that would be a difficult one, because we all know if you do it, as good as that kid is, man, there ain't many Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid stories, right? Like there's just not many in the history of the league. So do you reset yourself for 3 years, 2 years before that kid develops? Because I'm just telling you, I love what Patrick Mahomes did. Andy Reid is a true quarterback guru and puts players in great positions, and they had speed freaking everywhere, right? They were already a playoff team with Alex Smith, so he's going into a playoff team and now elevating it more. To take a team that's a 4 or 5 win team to the playoffs, man, that's a huge ask of one guy in a year or possibly 2.
The good thing is you've got 12 more weeks to kind of watch this and figure it out.